Hi, I'm Robin Forster with Feel So Alive, and my guest healer today is, and I'm looking down at my notes just in case y'all are wondering, Mary Beth Simon. She is from Pennsylvania, and she is a Reiki master and has a fascinating background in corporate before she went out on her own, and she was in the financial consultant world. So it's going to be very fun to have Mary Beth share with us because she's come from one dynamic to another dynamic. So, Mary Beth, can you tell us a little bit about how you got into Reiki and the world of healing?
Yes. So a few years ago, I was on vacation in Sedona, and I always like to get spa treatments. And I went for an energy healing treatment, a Reiki energy healing, because that's what you should do in Sedona. If you're going to do it anywhere, do it in Sedona. It was wonderful. And at the end of the treatment, the practitioner said to me, do you realize that you are like me? You have the same gifts. And I said, well, sometimes I realize that especially if I'm dealing with people who are ill, I notice that I have an energy uh, gift with them in particular. And she said, you should learn Reiki, even if you don't do it for a living. It would help you protect your energy and help you to be more focused in the energy work that you do with other people. And so when I came back from Sedona, I took a couple Udemy courses and I learned Reiki. And I actually learned how to be a crystal Reiki master after becoming a regular Reiki master.
That is fascinating. I mean, to think that you could do it online. And the other thing that I think is fascinating is the crystal Reiki. As we were talking before, I hadn't really heard of that. And can you share a little bit about what that is and what it's about? And
Sure, sure. Um, so there are certain crystals that are considered Reiki crystals, and they amplify the energy, and they have different properties. So, interestingly enough, right near where I live, there is a crystal Reiki store, it's a large store, and my husband calls it the store of rocks, and it's not really rocks, but it's crystals. um, when you use it in crystal Reiki, you place the crystals on the person's body. So you might place a crystal on the third eye, on the throat chakra, on the various chakras. And then when you do the Reiki healing, it amplifies that energy and has some healing properties.
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. And how funny that you live close to a crystal Reiki store. I think
Yeah,
it's great.
it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. It's overwhelming actually when you go into a crystal Reiki store because there are just so many crystals to learn about.
Huh. Neat. Okay,
Yeah.
well, thank you for sharing that piece. And then, kind of to the meat of the topic, why we're together is that I would like you to share with everyone on the replay what you have some gifts that you would like to share with the world. And so, can you tell us about those and take us down that path?
Sure. So one of the things is since I left corporate, I am a consultant now and I help people create contingency plans to keep life running smoothly in an emergency. And I would say that this scenario that we're in right now is a perfect example of something that we could never predict, and something that we need to be prepared for in case we become ill. If we run the finances for the family, make sure that other people know where our passwords are and how to keep the bills getting paid. So I would ask everyone to consider that for themselves. And then the second gift I would say is that when it comes to Reiki, everyone has the gift of Reiki. So it's just a matter of learning it. learning how to channel your energy and how to bring that energy to other people to help them heal. And everyone can learn how to do it. We can use it to heal spaces. We can send energy around the world. So it is a very powerful tool that all of us can learn and all of us can contribute to society.
Interesting. Okay. Fun. Okay, so what is it that you can do right now so that folks watching the replay, what can they take away to help them deal with their anxiety or confusion or like you were saying, you know, the whole planning for the unplanned? What are 4 or 5 tips that folks will go, oh, I needed to hear that today?
Yeah, so from the planning perspective, I would say the number one tip is when it comes to your passwords, make sure that someone else, someone other than you, someone who you trust has access to your passwords. So whether it's your digital password manager or write them down, put them in a password book. And I have a free online resource on my website with instructions on how to create that. So
Great.
that is, yeah, something that you can go to my website for. So definitely document your passwords, and then identify who is your second in command. So if you're the person who manages the finances, figure out who is that backup, and then you need to talk to that person and tell them how you manage the books, how you manage paying the bills to make sure that they're ready to step in for you. The third thing I would say with managing the stress like we're in right now is find time to meditate. So I meditate twice a day. I do transcendental meditation, and I've been doing that since about 2015. So it's a lifesaver, especially if you have that practice and when you get into a situation like this, it's really something that's calming and centering. So if you can find time, even if it's for 5 minutes twice a day, take that time and be thoughtful of the energy that you're feeling. So do breathing exercises to calm yourself rather than bringing that anxiety to other people. So be conscious of the energy that you contribute to your environment, especially with all of us working a little closer together in the home than maybe we would have normally. Those would be my tips.
Those are excellent, and I have been frantically writing all 4 of them down because I really like them, and they're all really, really excellent. And it fascinates me how you come from this financial, very straight kind of background to now to the healer background, and I think that this list, you know, number 1 is passwords, you know, very something that's just very tangible. You know, you need to take care of this. We all know that. Not that we all do it, but we all know that. And then ending with number 4, which is about your energy, being conscious of what you bring. And maybe even we can add be intentional.
Yes.
You know, when you walk into a room, what is the energy that you want to bring? And I know there's a lot of us who are really trying to be more of the light and bring more positive energy, given that the situation right now is fluid. Maybe it's the most gentle way to say it.
Yes, and a lot depends on our vibration. So if our vibration is low and we're feeling down and negative, then that affects many people, you know, other than ourselves. So if we keep our vibration high, it's good for everyone's health, including our own.
And do you have a quick little easy suggestion for bringing our energy, our vibration up? Like standing someplace, waiting for something? And
Yeah, I would say physical activity is key. So especially I've heard from a lot of people who are working from home now that they're on more conference calls than they ever were. They're working longer hours than they ever for. So there may be a perception that people have more downtime, and that's not necessarily true for a lot of people. They're working even harder than they were, and they're not getting time to move. They're not walking between buildings or between meetings. So I think that the physical activity, if there's an opportunity to do yoga, stretching. I'm a Les Mills body flow instructor, so I still get up every morning at 5:30 in the morning. I meditate. I do an hour of body flow, and then I get showered and I go to work.
Oh,
Try and keep that same schedule.
yeah, that is so important. I've been hearing that from others and realizing for myself that my routine is really kind of weird, mushy right now. And I'm used to working from home, but
Yeah,
it's just gotten mushy and it's like, okay, is this how I want my day to be? Is this how I want my evening to be? And it's like, no, not really. So what are the things that I want to do now to change it, or what do I want it to look like? So then I know that I could change it. And
yeah,
currently a
that's
work in
exactly
progress.
right.
Great. Anything else that you would like to share before we end?
The only other thing I would say that I found that I needed to do is go on a news diet. Too much news is not good for us. That's my last tip.
And that is a fabulous tip. It's a very, very good idea to go on a news diet. Well, Mary Beth, thank you so much. I appreciate all your time and the energy that you've put into this. Thanks.
Thank you, Robin. It was a pleasure.